Alright, today I'm going to talk about Kaido and why he is so underrated, and by the end of this video I hope you will understand why Kaido is the most undervalued character in terms of power in One Piece. Before starting with the feats, I will debunk all the misunderstandings about Kaido. The majority of the fans actually overlooked Kaido's introduction because it's something that people say. But for example, Roger, the Pirate King that people keep putting him above almost any character in One Piece, was first called the Pirate King by the newspaper. Oda never stated that directly, but because the people in One Piece, the citizens, are talking about him, he's known as the Pirate King. So the idea of it's just something people say is funny because all of the characters who attained their titles are almost the same. And those people in One Piece are actually knows these characters better than the readers because Oda is not showing enough information about these characters. Also in the data book Oda said that Kaido is the strongest creature, so even if you think his title is not official or something, Oda said it in many places. Another thing that the fans say is to underestimate his title, and that is humans aren't creatures. I don't personally believe that, but it doesn't matter from the first place because Kaido is said to be the strongest living thing and humans are living things. Kaido's title includes every living being in One Piece, whether it's humans, minks, animals, or whatever. I want to show you that Oda is always, when comparing Kaido to the other characters, he just keeps him above all. From the SBS volume 83, one of the readers said, "You told us how to escape from Akainu, bears, ghosts, and the like. But when I try to do this before my angered mother, I'm just beaten up. Is my mother stronger than Akainu?" And Oda told him, "You better watch out. You're being too brush. A mother is the strongest living being in the world, even stronger than Kaido. Don't you dare do it again, but you know your mother loves you more than anyone else." Now you can see that Oda actually believes that Kaido is the strongest creature, even if this seems to be like a meme to you, although Kaido is not even mentioned in the question. But to describe that the mothers are the strongest, he mentioned Kaido and no one else. Also, Oda here believes that the humans are creatures, for those who think that Kaido is not stronger than humans. Now this one is more important than the first one in my opinion. From Ace Novel Informations, the government stated that Shanks is scared when he gets mad, Whitebeard is scared when someone does bad things against their honor and humanity, Big Mom is scary when she's in a bad mood, and Kaido is scary enough with his existence. In every place, Kaido is always more powerful than the others. So the idea of his title is just given to him by people is just disrespectful in my opinion. When did Kaido attain his title? Now, the majority think it was after Whitebeard died, but at that time Whitebeard is not the strongest man anymore, like he can't even use advanced hockey types, and his physical state is so bad. But the title will stick with him as long as he lives, like if not for the blood, 3 times Cape Akainu was almost enough to put him down. So we don't actually know when Kaido got his title, but it's definitely before Whitebeard's death. Also, a lot of people think that Whitebeard got his title after Roger's death, which is wrong according to the Weaver card. If it's one-on-one, always bet on Kaido. This is also something that Kaido is known for, from the time he escaped from his kingdom to the day he defeated Oden. Kaido is that type of character who actually loves battles, just like Kenpachi from Bleach and Thorkill from Vinland Saga. There's no character in One Piece who shares the same thrust for battle like Kaido beside maybe Rocks. People started to say that if it's one-on-one, always bet on Kaido, because he's known for fighting and challenging strong people. In his introduction, it says that he challenged the Navy and the Yonko by himself, and that happened before he arrives to Wano Land. Now there's actually people on channels who actually believe that Kaido was defeated 7 times in a 1v1 fight. In his introduction, Oda said he lost as a pirate, means due to group efforts. And for those who still think that Kaido lost to some certain characters, I got a question for you. All of the top tiers you actually think have defeated Kaido in a 1v1 fight are using blades. If Oden is the only one who scarred Kaido, why they couldn't do the same? Oden is actually strong, but not on the level of people like Whitebeard, right? So why no one could scar Kaido beside Oden and Zoro? That because Kaido never lost a 1v1 battle, or why people will say bet on him if he actually lost 7 times in a 1v1 battle. And in his introduction, people say unanimously that bet on him in a 1v1, but they never said anything like that to any character. Now let's move to the reasons why people underrate Kaido for. Kaido is still stronger than Luffy in many things like stamina and haki. In chapter 1095 you can see that Gear 5 consumes a lot of stamina. Like even while Luffy is not serious and was just playing with Kizaru, his stamina is a big problem. And that's almost with all of his gears, so without rest for many times he is not beating Kaido, who was fighting all the time against multiple people. And his haki is not as strong as Kaido, he can't use it long enough like Kaido. So to me, if there's a rematch, Kaido will win in my opinion, and I'm not changing my mind because I can't see any reason to. One famous reason is that Shanks defeated Kaido 2 years ago to stop him from murdering old Whitebeard. Just ask yourself the previous question, how can Shanks defeat Kaido without scarring him? And we know that Kaido is not that type of people who will retreat or escape from a fight, as he challenged the Navy and the Yonko all by himself. Another thing is Kaido is equal to Big Mom. This is actually disrespectful because in Ace novel it says that they are equals in terms of physical strength only and nothing more. And the 3 days fight is not even enough to say she is equal to Kaido, because no one actually intends to beat the other, just like Roger and Whitebeard. People also say Kaido was weak when he was with the Rocks Pirates, but in the data book Oda said he was a dominant force. Oden vs Kaido is another reason. For weird reasons, the majority of the fans see Oden as a weak person. There's a huge misunderstanding about what happened with him against Whitebeard and Roger. Oden at that time doesn't even know what is advanced armament haki. He mastered his Ryu, but he can't use advanced armament haki at that time. So after his voyage he became much stronger than before in terms of physical state and general haki. And even when he met them, Whitebeard said he is strong and refused to let him join his crew, and somehow compared him to his former crewmates, the Rocks Pirates. And none of them actually one-shotted Oden because after they hit him he just stand up immediately. He was even willing to fight Roger back with that commissary, and you have to remember this is Oden without advanced armament haki. Just compare him to Luffy before and after using this ability. Oden is not weak at all as people think, and his haki is so powerful that Kaido still respects until the day. So using Oden to downplay Kaido or to downplay Oden himself is ridiculous in my opinion. There's also people who's already comparing current Zoro to Oden, but Zoro is not on that level yet, cause he said if he keep using haki against King, Amo will kill him, while Oden was fighting with it without much troubles. Also, Kaido doesn't like to cheat to win against his opponents. He said that after beating Oden and Luffy. And we don't actually know who would win between Oden and Kaido at that time, and Oden is not on Kaido's top 5 for nothing. Let's talk about Kari and Onigashima. A lot of people actually overlook this because Kari and Onigashima will definitely consume some of Kaido's stamina, because the flames that dragons are using to fly is not designed to carry islands. It's not like Shiki's devil fruit that actually designed to lift almost everything with ease, because Momo after moving Onigashima for a short amount of time was so exhausted. It doesn't matter if it's the first time or not because Momo is already able to fly. Also, after seeing Onigashima collapse, Yamato said that Kaido is weakened, so carrying Onigashima is not easy as people think. I want to add that people also underestimate Kaido because he was defeated now and Luffy will fight stronger people in the future. But likely he's not gonna fight someone as strong as Kaido in the future, especially if it's one-on-one. Like for example, end of story Blackbeard. First of all, Blackbeard is not that type of people who will fight you alone. We've seen this many times against old Whitebeard and Law in the latest chapters. Kaido is still powerful enough to clash with Luffy's last attack Bajirang gun. I don't think that any top tier can survive this if it was a direct hit, since Luffy slammed Kizaru with much weaker attack and Kizaru is not even able to move for like a minute. Now moving to the feats, Kaido has the best feats in the entire series. His strength isn't the highest level. For speed he blitzed Luffy Gear 5 many times, and Luffy while using Future Sight, Kaido blitzed him in his base form. Kaido's destructive capability is insane. He can breathe fire to destroy mountains, he can send huge wind slashes capable of cutting almost anything. His haki is one of the best in the series, and very enough to fight against any character whether it's from the old generation or current generation. Also in the manga it implied that his haki is in the level of Roger and Whitebeard. He clashed with Luffy and opened the sky just like Roger and Whitebeard. When Kaido was talking about haki against Luffy, he just mentioned Roger because he is the best example. Like all of the people he knew back in the days are devil fruit users. This is just like the wild idea of Kaido listed the people who can beat him, and Kaido said the only people who can fight him, and his durability is just on another level. Now the majority actually overlooked the advantage of his race like he's a normal guy. And his race isn't just about durability but also about his power in general. Just like Lunarians, they were known as gods back in the days just because of their race abilities. Also, a lot of people just underrate Kaido's general IQ like hell. I've even saw people gave IQ and battle IQ to people like Fujitora in many channels, and they actually forgot that Kaido is a philosophy. His thoughts are just better than any character in the series. And for battle IQ, Kaido was fighting since the age of 10, so his battle IQ is definitely better than people like Fujitora. And I would say that his general IQ is top 5 of all time due to the experience and the battles he had. And his range is just ridiculous, with the lightning, wind slashes and the fire, and I think you know a lot about Kaido's feats, it's just crazy. So the idea of the old generation are on the level that no character can reach is ridiculous. Because in my opinion, not only Kaido is in that level, but also other characters can reach it as well. Like Mihawk, Dragon, Shanks and Akainu could be at the same level because of their positions. For example, Exhausted Shiki versus both Prime Garp and Prime Sengoku. If the idea of at the same level exists, why they struggled a lot to beat Exhausted Shiki? Also, Oda doesn't really care about power scaling as much as we do, but when we see what happened in God Valley, you will find out that the old generation are overrated. Just think about the characters from God Valley. What happened to them after that incident? Think about all of them. Now many people asked me why I think that Kaido is stronger than Roger and Whitebeard. I think that Kaido has the advantage over them, like the race abilities, and his haki is almost at the same level, and I don't really see any reason to put them above Kaido. And I'm okay if someone said that they are at the same level, I will respect that. But for those who think that they will beat him with mid-diff, I just don't know what to say. Also, the statements like the government one is enough to say that Kaido is at the same level at least. And don't get me wrong here or be nostalgic. If you think that they can beat him, just give me one reason. And don't say it's Roger or the Pirate King level thing, because it's not about strength to begin with. At the end, I think that people will start to realize that Kaido is much powerful than they think. In the next chapter, we might see what happened at the God Valley, and that's gonna blow your mind. That was it for today's video. I'd like to hear your opinion about it, and see you in the next video.